Oh, what button is that? What the did I just hit? I don't know. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back once again to Wheel Takes. I'm going to have to bleep that curse because it's in the first 7 seconds. Kind of. Not counting. Whatever. A podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels written... I can't get the mic right. This is... What are we... Okay. A series of fantasy novels written by Robert Jordan and completed by Brandon Sanderson. I'm Gus. I've read all of them.
I'm Allie, and I am on book 12, chapter 27.
Nice. This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie's already read. Today, that's everything up to and including The Gathering Storm, chapter 27, which is called The Tipsy Gelding. Allie, how's it going?
It's tipsy, and it's a gelding.
Are you tipsy? No.
No.
Me neither.
But I am a gelding.
I don't think that's... That
was a joke. I know what a gelding is. Don't worry.
I know you do.
I know everything about animals. I know what a gelding is.
I know.
That's why it was funny.
I know. That's why I had to play into it. Yes. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're back. We never went anywhere. There's a chapter. How did you like it?
I loved it.
You loved it. It was good. How you doing? Were you reading astrology stuff?
No.
You reading astrology stuff during the podcast? You're reading up the stuff about the thing?
Well,
not
I'm
even
learning.
A book.
Wait, hold on.
It's completely different. What is Matt's rising sign? Who knows? She's thinking about it now. It's okay.
Probably.
There you go.
Or Leo.
Now you knows.
Wait, okay, give me another one.
Allie, what's going on?
Give me another one.
No.
I can do it.
Okay, what's Avienda's moon sign?
Aries or Scorpio.
Great. Allie, how's it going over there?
It's great.
You got a good thing going on here. You're reading your thing about the thing. It's once again really fucking late. We keep doing this.
It keeps happening.
It's quite unfortunate, but here we are. The team is back together again. We, never went anywhere. I don't know why I'm acting like this is some kind of grand reunion. We did an episode last week. We're doing an episode this week.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Nothing has changed. Let's talk about this chap.
Yeah.
For which I do need you to stop reading about astrology. Okay. Because if you're reading about astrology, we can't talk about
it's called multitasking, guys.
That's not what we can do
Tasking
right now.
multi.
That's not necessarily going to be the most... But listen.
2 ADHDs, both alike in dignity. 2 hyperfixations, both alike in dignity.
People could also be into that. What are you reading now? What is that?
Well, I just have to quickly read what my thing was supposed to be today.
This is a different astrology thing you've pulled up. This is a secondary astrological app. Not to be confused with the other thing.
Guys, this was so today. Wait, do you want to hear what our day was?
We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Again.
How right was it, though?
It was very, very good. It was very good. My forecast for this was going to be, if we don't start recording soon, we will fall asleep.
We'll turn into pumpkins.
Yeah, or turn into pumpkins. Actually, highly relevant to this week's episode, not sticking around too long after dark.
It's true.
Allie, now you're reading a group chat with some friends.
Well, because our friend just had a baby yesterday.
Yes, they did, and it's very exciting. We're very pleased for them.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very cute child, adorable little child, thrilling sort of thing. Not...
He's so
something
cute.
You'd want to see in Hinderstap.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about Hinderstap. All right, give me my notes. Give me my notes.
Now you're full speed ahead. What if I want to dither for a while? Maybe I want to talk about that bag over there.
Well, okay, give me another rising sign. No. Explain me again. Let me do it again.
Okay, Phael's Venus. I don't know.
Oh, Aries for sure.
There you go. All right. Allie, listen, you read this chapter. I forgot what happened in this chapter. I thought a lot of the stuff that happened in this chapter happened in the next chapter. And the stuff that I thought happened in this chapter, no fucking idea when that shit happens. Thinking back, don't know why I thought what I thought happens in this chapter happened in this chapter. Didn't happen in this chapter. I'm going to stop saying chapter.
What?
Doesn't matter. I'm unraveling. I'm spiraling, and I'm coming apart at the seams here.
Wait, can I tell everybody something really funny that I told the fucking Discord, but I didn't tell?
While I'm unraveling, please.
It was funny.
I hope you do.
Okay, so our dog is such a podcast dog because right now he's currently sitting next to me, like full donut, like cuddling up against me because he has realized that recording time is just cuddle with mom on the couch time as well. Because I'm very busy during the day. I have ADHD, so I'm busy. I am a busy bee. I'm busying around the house all day, every day. I do not stop moving all fucking day unless I'm writing. But even then, I'm moving around the house because I like talk to myself and stuff. You can attest.
Yes.
So he gets cuddle times when we record. And now he knows the phrase, Petey, do you want to record?
He gets excited.
His ears go up, his head tilts to the side, which is always his sign for yes when he wants the thing.
Yes.
And it's on the word record.
That's pretty cute.
Isn't that so cool?
He is currently bombed out.
I just think he's such a podcast dog. It's so cute.
It's true.
I posted a video on our Discord.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Adorable.
Can I tell you another really cool thing that happened today?
Yes.
Okay, so I was on the phone with my friend today, and he was FaceTiming me because he was calling me about his daughter who's 2.5, and she's so cute. And we were just like FaceTiming with her and being like, hi, how are you? And like having such a great time. And then he looks at me and his eyes are like full of stars. He's so happy. He's telling me all these amazing things about her. And then he goes, she's just like you. No, it was like...
No, I'm earnestly
really
doing
sweet.
the thing. I
Really
wasn't serious.
sweet.
I wasn't making fun of you. That's great.
It was really sweet. Well, I just have never considered the idea that anyone would actually want their daughter to be like me.
Why wouldn't they? You're great.
It's just really nice.
Good. It is nice. You're great.
It just really meant a lot to
This
me.
is
Anyway, it was just like a cool thing that
Everybody's
happened
having kids. All these people having kids.
I know, it's really cool.
It's cool.
It's cool for them.
Yeah, good for them.
For them. Stop asking.
Yeah. The book.
The book. Yes. Give me the notes.
Did you want to say anything before we started?
What is there to say that is not in my notes?
No, maybe
you goob.
Sometimes you like to lead off. You jump in. You dive away with these things. You have a whole spiel set up.
I have been.
This time,
I've been updating people on our lives. I've been cuddling with the dog, and now I'm ready to
sometimes
go.
you go, oh my God, what a chapter. Sometimes you go, oh my God, what a...
Well, a lot of that is in the notes.
There you go. Well, I guess your first note is actually, yes, your first note.
I wrote, wait, oh my God.
But this was for something else.
Well, I thought at the beginning, we were going to go get more rape.
Not.
I was so excited.
In fact, I really appreciated that Brandon was like, remember that? Been a minute.
Finally. And then I wrote, is it finally happening?
No.
And then it was like, Tom is looking at that blasted letter again. Gee, wonder why. No, it'll be weeks before they can break away. No. Matt, I'm about to paddle your ass. No, Brandon. Bad Brandon. Because I thought they were just going to go like sing songs and faff about. But then it didn't end up being that. I was really scared though. It was the scariest chapter of my life because I thought it was just going to be like a nothing chap. But then it wasn't a
nothing chap.
Yeah, it was very exciting. The reminiscing is beautiful.
It is.
That really tugged my little heartstrings.
It really did.
That was like 5 years ago for us.
What was?
When they're like going around to all the little places and all the inns and stuff. Like they were reminiscing about like all traveling around like way back when all together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it just like tugged at my heartstrings. This is another thing. I was like, oh my God, that was so long ago for us too.
This is another thing that I think Brandon and Robert together are doing very well. Where now that we are earnestly and actually approaching the end of the series, I frankly, I think this is probably more Brandon. There is a lot of reaching back to where we started and kind of going, look at where we've come from.
Yeah, it's kind of really like tugging at my heartstrings. I had not really thought of this much as a device.
Yeah. No, it's nice, especially with the series as long. And again, I say this is probably Brandon because I truly do believe that if Robert Jordan had finished the books, there would have been 20 of them. And that's fine. It would have been a very different experience. But, you know, I got the feeling that this is also kind of more Brandon Sanderson style, where he goes, let me now start linking plots together and remembering back and connecting through and flow of story. And it's a lovely effect.
Yeah. Really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tearing up right now.
I know. It's wild when you think about the fact we've been doing this for so fucking long. It's been over 5 years.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Started this podcast in December of 2019, I believe.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really cool. Okay, so there's that. And then, Is this a literal sundown downtown? Creepy.
And then you stopped taking notes because
I got stressed.
you got stressed. Funny that you should mention being scared. I will tell you that this chapter and the next chapter are very, very frequently highlighted, not necessarily as one of the scariest things, but one of the most sort of horror novel-y feeling sets of chapters in the series.
Well, it ended with one of the most stressful lines I've ever seen.
That
which
was when
I feel
the
like this
screaming
is
began.
not the first time a chapter in the Wheel of Time has ended with that exact phrase.
Something to that effect. There was one time where it was like it was 3 days before the first crisis or something, and then it turned out that the crisis was 2 women got in a fight.
Yeah, that was...
And nothing had happened, and it was 7 chapters until we learned what happened. But this time, I will tell you, the next fucking chapter is the direct
banger.
continuation of this, and it is
it
very
banger?
similar to this chapter in terms of sheer readability.
Well, and this chapter was really unsettling.
Yes.
Like, there's just something very unsettling about the entire affair.
Give me your initial feelings on
but
this.
also, when we start an episode, and that is when the screaming began.
I mean, yeah, we do yell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But,
okay.
You know, how did you feel about this whole thing?
It was a banger chap.
This and the next one again are often highlighted as extremely Brandon Sanderson-y chapters by some.
I'm cool with that.
I liked it a lot.
I really enjoyed these chapters.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
I enjoyed this very thoroughly.
Like, pop off, Brandy.
How are you finding Matt, this book versus the other books?
You keep saying that, like, he's really different. I do not see it.
I am also not experiencing it nearly as much this time as I did the first time.
No,
I am feeling like he's almost exactly the same character.
Hasn't he always been a misogynist who's, like, stubborn and, like, a little rude?
Yeah, this chapter
He's
in particular
always been
felt
this way.
about... I only bring this up because it is such a hotly discussed thing.
He's always been so petulant.
Even to the extent that Brandon Sanderson has been like, whoops, my bad, I completely fucked up your boy in the Gathering Storm. But I'm kind of like, I don't think
so.
he is so far.
I really don't think so, but far be it from me. Like, this is kind of who I feel like Matt is. Like, he's a little bit of a butthead. He's a fun butthead, but he's a butthead.
He's always been.
And I say that as someone who identifies as a Matt son. He's a butthead, and I'm also a bit of a butthead. I'm a little bit of an irresponsible butthead.
Shall we dive right in?
Yeah.
11, 13, 15 minutes in. Chapter 27, Tipsy Gelding. Chapter logo is this.
It's Dice.
Dice. Matt didn't escape the camp without the Aes Sedai, of course. Bloody women. He rode down the ancient stone road. So everybody's coming into the... I've noticed, I was listening to some old episodes again. Almost every single chapter starts with me reading a paragraph, and then I start describing locations, and I go... It's nearly every chapter nowadays, and that's kind of funny to me.
Maybe people love that. Maybe they're just like, I need the...
Somebody out there gnashes their teeth and goes, read more about the Three Needle Pines, you fuck.
Well, that's definitely true, but... There's somebody out there, too, that's like, I insist you read less about the Three Needle Pines. So we can't make anyone happy, really.
They head into the town. He's a little worried. What is the overall atmosphere of the town? You mentioned this chapter being very unsettling. You mentioned things feeling very off. What is it that is so off? And what is it that kind of gives this chapter
one,
its
that they need them
atmosphere?
to leave by sundown, which...
Need them to leave by sundown.
When we're talking kind of about fantasy, the South is a loaded thing.
It does have certain connotations.
That for those of you who are not people who live in the U.S.,
yes,
sundown towns were places, particularly in the South, where people of color, particularly Black people, were not welcome past sundown.
Yes,
and if you were caught in those towns post sundown, you were killed.
Yes,
yeah. And so there were these things called green books that were for Black people who needed to travel. And it was places you could stay on your trip so that you knew not to like go into a town that was a sundown town.
Yes.
It's a horrible, horrifying, and just downright awful part of American history. We're all sadder for it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm laughing because I'm upset.
Now, here's the thing. very, very earnestly and truly believe this is not what he was going for in writing this.
I also, yeah, probably not.
I really think it wasn't. Especially because I think this chapter is almost 100% Brandon Sanderson, and that does not seem like the kind of thing he would make a commentary on.
Well, I kind of dug it as a commentary, though.
It is a good commentary, but I will tell you, I very much don't think that's what he's going for.
I know, but I would prefer if it were, so I'm going to pretend like it is. No, I don't. All due respect, maybe I'm wrong. The era of the early 2000s, we were not having a lot of conversations. Well, okay, here's the thing. I might not know because I was a child.
You were a kid.
But to my recollection, we were not having a ton of conversations in the sci-fi fantasy bro space. Now, I might be wrong about Sundown Towns. However, if we're looking at it as a commentary, I think it kind of slaps because they're using the outside world and the things that are happening to incite fear and make them xenophobic. And I feel like
they're not.
Yeah, that's why they're not letting people who are from outside of the town stay there.
No, it's not.
Well, I know that like something else, there's definitely like a demon or a goblin or some shit like eating the town.
The only reason
it's like that episode of Avatar.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, this is the exact same scenario.
The only reason I say no, it's not, is because Talmanes goes out of his way to be like, nobody here cares about the Dragon Reborn, Tarman Gaiden,
I'm saying I dug it initially as a commentary.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. That would be a really good way to spin this.
Yes, but then it changed. I'm talking about my reactions as I go.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And then it turned into not that. And I was like, also cool.
Yeah, because then what's it become?
It becomes Monstro.
It becomes weird, spooky bullshit.
Well, I thought maybe initially it was like a Lotus Eater situation.
That is also something that is reasonable to assume.
Well, that was the first thing because they were like, no one cares. And like everybody's like just dancing and happy and stuff. And I was like, okay, Lotus Eaters?
The
question
Lotus
mark, question mark, question mark?
Being...
From the Odyssey.
Yes.
It's a reference to the Odyssey where... they're like a ring full of people and they're just dancing and dancing and dancing essentially until they die.
It's an island that Odysseus goes to for a minute.
Yeah.
And they're on opium.
Yeah, essentially.
Basically. All the time.
I also think that it's probably a reference to the dancing plague as well. Or was that before their time?
Before...
I'm wrong. Because the dancing plague was later.
That was later. That was...
way later.
Medieval, I think?
Maybe even later.
Or Renaissance.
I think there's
medieval
a
or early
couple
Renaissance.
different... Weirdly, I think there's a couple different...
These are the cases where people kept
stories
dancing and couldn't stop dancing and died. And then people would be around them and would start dancing and would die.
I just think that's just a form of mass hysteria.
Probably.
And they didn't understand what mass hysteria was at the time.
Or maybe they caught the jitterbug. I'm sorry, people died.
Like the satanic panic, like just mass hysteria that just spirals out of control.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Different podcast.
But so then I was like, Lotus Eaters, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then I was thinking, is it Heibai from Avatar The Last Airbender?
Yeah, I think that's what it had. Good memory.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow, I haven't watched that show in 3.5 years.
What a deep cut I just did.
4 years.
Was Heibai right? That sounds right.
Maybe. Let's look it up.
Crazy if so.
Heibai, also known as the Black and White Spirit.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm fucking amazing. Good for
me. Panda Bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like Angry Spirit.
That is a hell of a fucking cut.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I felt was the situation.
After the forest was destroyed, it became enraged and unaware that it was infected with the actions of the Fire Nation. He began targeting Senlin Village and blaming the occupants. Avatar The Last Airbender, by the way, is a really, really good show. Really good. I haven't watched the live action one, but the animated series, really, really good. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend.
So that's what I'm thinking. Is it some kind of spirit or thing or like something that's like supposedly guarding the village?
Well, we know that the screaming
But they've
begins,
given up their freedom.
But why not just tell them? Hey, we get terrorized by
There's something malignant. Or maybe it's a creepy death cult. Something.
Could be.
There's just something going on.
It's a cool chapter, though. All things considered. Matt heads into town.
Because I thought it was this thing of like, okay, and then we go inside and we like, get really quiet and still. We paint lamb's blood on the door or some shit. That's biblical reference. But something where it like hopefully passes over
Well,
us.
that's also, the dark one, the dragon fang on your door is an inverse kind of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's excited. He's gonna go into town. He's gonna get fucked up, and he's gonna gamble, and he's gonna pinch a few barmaids.
Boo.
I think people get mad reading this because I think Brandon knows that's a little weird.
Yeah, he doesn't do it with his full chest like Robert Jordan, where he can almost convince you that that's a normal fucking thing to do. But you're like, Grandpa, ew.
It's wild, man.
That's
'cause
assault,
I'm like,
Grandpa.
We're friends with a lot of people in the service industry because we're actors.
Yeah.
And most of the women have like horror stories about this sort of thing.
Yeah, I think
not to get into some serious shit.
No, let's
Not gonna do that too much.
You know what?
Okay,
No,
maybe we're gonna do that a little bit.
let's actually,
Sorry,
because
it might
it's
be
really
a little
fucked
rough
up.
for about 2 minutes.
Every woman I know who works in service has been assaulted at least once. I met, as someone who's worked in customer service,
one of your bridesmaids.
One of my bridesmaids, because she was groped by a group of men her first day on the job.
Yeah.
Fuck you if you fucking make it a problem for waitresses. Fuck you. I hope you sit on a hot fucking poker, you goddamn piece of shit. Now, here's the thing. I know that the person who does that kind of thing doesn't listen to this podcast because they rage quit like 17 years ago.
Yeah, they probably told us about it.
This is not a safe space for them. So, like, I don't know why I'm fucking yelling at you as if you are a problem, because I know you're not. And if you are, fix your fucking self. But you're not, because you already left. You left back when I said anything else. I don't know. Here's the thing about me. My opinions are base as fuck, and I like me quite a lot.
Yeah, anyway, so Matt's gonna go and pinch barmaids, his favorite thing to do. He would not think of Tuon flaming Sean Chan. She'd be all right, wouldn't she? No!
By the way, also, a lot of my male friends who work in service have also been assaulted.
Yes.
If that's you, women out here doing that shit, go fuck yourself.
Stop
also.
it.
Sit on a hot fucking poker, you creepy piece of shit. But again, I don't think you probably listen.
Where are people getting these hot pokers?
I'm sticking them right up there.
Are we keeping fires going into the night?
Well, maybe not in L.A.
Not in L.A., no.
But like in the Wheel of Time, we are.
All right, so Matt's excited. He wants to gamble and drink.
Who's to say I don't have a supply of hot pokers handy just in case we need them?
He wants to go to a dive bar, and he knows Talmanes is going to want to go to a brewery.
We were just at a dive bar.
We were at a dive bar. It was very fun. Yeah. So he wants to go to a dive bar. He knows Talmanes is going to want to go to like a bistro, brew pubby bistro sort of thing.
And what is wrong with that? Let the man go to his brew pubby bistro.
Talmanes is going to be like, y'all like Carcassonne? And Matt is up there like, I want to play fucking Chohan. So
what? None of those references make sense to me.
Carcassonne does.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. What's the other one?
Chohan?
I don't know.
It's a Japanese dice game.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, somebody out there loved that.
Because I've been playing a lot of Yakuza lately. Did you know? Nobody knew that. I never fucking talk about it on this podcast. I have 4 interests
like Yakuza?
that I fucking rotate through, and I ramble
That's
about them
not
on the
true.
goddamn podcast.
No,
I'm like,
that's
first
not true.
it's Malazan, then it's Yakuza, and I don't know.
That's not true, because like you have so many interests. Right now, you're
Mahjong.
obsessed with those little ducks.
Yeah, the ducks come and go.
Gus is obsessed with these rubber ducks that are dressed as characters from
Tubs.
other.
The
Yeah,
Tubs
they're called
ducks.
Tubs. He is obsessed with those.
I have a Kiryu one. So that also actually ties into... I got into that because of Yakuza. Yakuza's been a thing for like 4 months for me now.
I still log hyperfixation.
Really locked in.
My hyperfixations don't normally last as long as yours.
No, it's because I do not have ADHD. I have some other exciting thing.
Probably.
Called being a fucking nerd. Okay, so I am also a nerd. He's riding Pips down the road and going to the thing, and he wants to throw dice, and Talmanes is also there, and Matt's looking at the town. He goes, yeah, it's all right. It's probably got 3 or 4 inns, and then he reminisces.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks about being at Barrelon and how he thought Barrelon was was New York
this section
City.
really kind of choked me up a little bit.
Me too. It's really sweet.
I was like, because here's the thing. I've had 5 years of growth since starting the podcast. And so then I was like, oh, wow. At that time, I was like living a completely different fucking life.
I will occasionally listen to older episodes, but going back more than a year feels weird.
It's like a completely different fucking life.
Yeah, it's really, really different.
It's so cool.
Tom, we can talk more about that if you want.
Well, that's just another thing my friend said to me today. He goes, hey, Allie, you because we've been friends since college.
Yeah.
He goes, You 10 years ago would think you now is really cool.
Oh, you would think you now is really cool.
And I like almost started to cry and I was like, she would think I was really cool.
Tom pulls up and we're going to take an ad break. Welcome back. Tom pulls up and he's like meaningfully looking at the letter, and Matt is like, bro, we read that chapter nearly a year ago. Can we put it to bed for a second? And Allie started screaming at first. She was like, it's happening. He's reading the letter. It's happening. Actually, the first thing was they're on an ancient road.
Yeah, I thought ancient road. I was like, oh my God, it's happening, isn't it?
She went, oh my God.
And then he got kind of mildly annoyed with me and was like, just sit down and read it. And I was like,
I didn't want you to be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were going to get your heart broken.
I knew that your reaction to that was either you're annoyed that I'm right or you're annoyed because I'm about to be heartbroken.
Why don't you put that away? I mean it, Tom. I know you're eager to go from Warrain, but it'll be weeks before we can break away.
I wasn't heartbroken. This was also interesting.
Reading over those words won't do anything but make you anxious, which I firmly believe.
The only time I'm heartbroken, to be clear, is when something boring happens.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Brandon put this in there to be like, I know.
Yeah, that's definitely what that was.
Give me a minute.
I know. I'm doing it next book, I promise.
I can't justify it yet based on where they are. I'll get there.
Or maybe later this book. That'd be nice too.
And Tom goes, you're right, Matt. But I've been carrying this letter for months. Now that I've shared it, I feel, well, I just want to be on with it. And Matt's like,
same, bro.
Yeah. Look, we'll get to Moiraine, Tom. You have my word. Burn me, we'll find her.
Moiraine's sitting there like, hello?
But we need to see the band someplace safe, and we need information. Baal Domon says he knows where the tower is, but I won't be comfortable. Blah, 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 blah. And Tom is like, yeah, but I'd really like to go get Moiraine. And from the distance, you can hear Allie's voice resonating into the pages going, oh my God!
And they're just like, what the fuck was that? Bubble of evil?
And Matt's
I'm
like,
no, just my rage.
Tom also seems really...
The fart wind was just the fart wind of all the geeks who read this book.
Tom also seems really, really, really focused on getting Moiraine back.
Yes.
Why is he so...
is into her.
Because we're still on
But
Team
I'd like
Mom.
to think he'd also be invested because she's a person and has been nothing but good to them and has helped them through stuff, but it's really because I think the dude wants to get his dick wet, and that kind of bit disappoints me.
Remember when he got kicked in the head? I was thinking about that the other day.
Sometimes I want to kick all of them in the head. I gotta be honest. I love them, but I also really would like to kick Matt in the head right now.
Tom nodded, though Matt could see he chafed at leaving Moiraine trapped, being tortured, or who knows what.
Yeah, you should also. What is wrong with you?
Tom's brilliant blue eyes got a far-off look to them. Why did he care so much? What was Moiraine to him but another Aes Sedai? One of those who would cost the life of Tom's nephew. And Matt's like, hey...
This is making me want to scream.
We're supposed to be getting...
But here's the thing. This is consistent with the Matt who always makes me want to scream.
Yeah. He goes, we're supposed to be getting fucked up and playing, I don't know, jacks or some bullshit. So, let's do that. And Tom is, and then we do the reminiscing thing again. He goes, you plan to try juggling for your supper again, apprentice? Better than trying to play that blasted flute. Never was very good at that. Rand took to it right fine, though, didn't he? And then he thinks about Rand's hand getting chopped off, and he's like, I don't know. He's going to go nuts and blow up one day, though, so, none of my business.
Damn. Okay.
Throwback.
I mean, he's not going to go nuts, though. Haven't we heard?
Matt hadn't heard shit.
We got to let him know.
Matt was busy.
Right now, Matt's pulling a parrot. You're telling me?
Are you? Well, Matt kind of got completely waylaid and sidetracked from the main story in roughly book 6.
And for what, Robert? And for what?
So he could go
for
and get...
Tuon? Ew.
Attacked by women, and then Tuon shows up.
We have been doing this for so long.
Somebody said once that everything really went off the rails when Rand sent Matt to get Egwene back in terms of direct forward plot advancement, and I think that's correct.
That's correct. We have not had a plot for Matt in fucking like 3 fucking years.
Well, let's see. What's he doing? He went to Abu Dar. He faffed around trying to find...
He faffed around even before that. He faffed around going to go deliver a letter to Morghese from Elaine.
Yeah, but then he went to the
faffed about completely.
He went to the waist, and he did the doorways.
What did he do in the waist? He faffed about in the waist.
He got a hat.
He got a hat in the waist.
And then
that was pretty
accidentally
much it.
Formed the band.
So he was there, by accident.
And then he killed Couladin off page. And
that was weird as a choice.
He did absolutely fucking nothing for the first half of book 6. And then Rand sent him...
Oh, he fucked Melindra a bunch. That was funny.
He did fuck Melindra a lot. And then he had to kill her.
That you know what? That was...
God, I love books 4 and 5, man. Books 4 and 5 are fucking bangers.
They really
just
are.
Non-stop rippers.
Non-stop rippers.
And then what did he do?
6 hits.
Then 6, the commonly lauded high point of the series, to which I often say, when is the last time you read it all the way through?
Is it?
If you love it, I'm happy for you. But the first half of that book, in my opinion, is the slowest part of the entire series.
No, you cannot say that with your full chest when Crossroads of Twilight exists.
I can, because
you cannot say that. You cannot. You cannot say that.
No.
You cannot say that with your full chest. No.
Crossroads has vibes in it.
No. Crossroads is dull as paint.
Yes,
Crossroads
it is.
Dull as paint.
But it has vibes.
Is dull as paint. No. I thought I was actually dying while I Crossroads of Twilight. And we read it in a week.
You said you didn't hate it that much.
I lied. I was lying. I was lying. I was like, I'm so aware of how negative I'm being all the time. It was the worst book by far. It wasn't close. And when people tell me there's no slog, I get actively pissed off. Because I'm like, do not tell me what I just read wasn't one of the driest toast books I've ever fucking read in my life. May Robert rest in peace. I'm sorry, that was really spicy. I don't care. Now that the books are good again, I can be honest about my experience, because I wanted to be like, because I was worried I was going to hate them forever. And now I'm happy again. So now I can be honest. That was the worst fucking book I've read in a while. It made me stop reading for a while.
It did, didn't it?
Yes.
You did actually go into a reading slump after you read Crossroads.
I quit reading for months. Because the thought of reading didn't give me dopamine anymore. So don't fucking sit there and tell me that there is no slog. Now that the books are good again, I can be fucking honest. May Robert Jordan rest in peace.
Listen. To quote Twitter.
My God.
To quote Twitter, I love the Wheel of Time. 6 out of 10.
And it's so true. It's so true, and it gets truer every year. I don't even know how you fucking do Crossroads one episode at a time. You don't.
That's why we did it that way.
I probably would have quit the podcast.
I think my favorite thing that happened in the Crossroads.
I'm so sorry to reveal this to you all, but Crossroads was a rough. This slog was a rough time for my love of the books. It was
different. It was different, you know.
Between Crossroads and fucking. My least favorite book
was Crown of Swords.
Oh, it's not close.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
that's not
close.
That's not a.
Everyone's
that's not a
getting raped left and fucking right, and I'm like, what is happening?
I remember because I think
why is this happening?
In book 4 or early 5, he went, I really appreciate the way Robert Jordan handles sexual assault, and I went, oh no. I
no longer appreciate the way Robert Jordan handles sexual assault at all. Actually, if I saw him again, I'd shake his hand, then smack him in the face a little, then shake his hand again.
Yeah, but in a loving way.
Yes, mostly.
I still think the first half of 6
Actually,
is slower.
recently in an acting class, I got to do a scene where I smashed 4 eggs in a guy's face.
You did. You said it was cathartic.
It really was. And he was so enthused about me doing it.
He was all about it.
He was like, Allie, let's go. Right in the forehead. Let's go. We're in like my backyard practicing. Raw eggs. And I smashed it in his face. And we were like cracking up. We were dying. And then I was talking to a group of girls at this party for our class that we threw the other night. It was also a combination, that and Petey's birthday party. It was very sweet. And I just said, it was pretty cathartic smashing those eggs in his face. I got to be honest. Like, he was really into it and okay about it. And as a woman, it was a little cathartic to smash an egg on a man's face.
That's fair.
And all of my female friends that were there at the time went, yeah, it looked really great, actually.
I'm just gonna.
I did it really fast so I wouldn't hurt him. I made sure it wouldn't hurt him.
At the risk of getting egged in the face, I still think the first half of Lord of Chaos is the slowest part.
I'm going to egg you in the face.
Specifically because you come off of the fucking nonstop high that is the end of Fires of Heaven.
Okay. But can I counterpoint with endless rape chapters?
I said slowest.
Okay. Can I just tell you that as a woman, reading endless rape chapters is really agonizingly slow.
That's true. So, do we want to go back to talking about this book?
Yes, this slapped me in the face and I said thank you. This is so much better. It's like, I can't even describe how good it is to now feel like the books are doing things again. I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
You know,
I can see all obstacles in my way.
Some people actively despise the Brandon Sanderson book
because they hate fun.
All right, so he thinks about Rand.
Yeah, I'm a cool edgelord. All right, fuck. Cool. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you and your hatred of fun and plot. Like, that's cool.
You're feeling spicy today, aren't you?
No one puts baby in a corner. Now that the books are good again, I'm like, I can shoot for the hip. I can do what I want. But before I was like, I can see what he's trying to do. Yeah, I can appreciate that books don't have to have a plot. Because I thought maybe this was forever.
It's not.
Oh, I know.
It's not.
I'm so thankful. I'm just like, oh my God.
The balance between plot and...
I could start crying right now.
And character.
Part of the reason why I started to tear up about the fact that we look how far we've come is I'm like, oh, we're finally through the fucking slog.
Oh my God. You know what's funny is we have spent so long on The Gathering Storm. This is like our 25th Gathering Storm episode. It doesn't feel like that long.
20th Gathering Storm.
Yeah, we have been doing Gathering Storm basically one chapter per week. So
but there's so much to dig into that I'm like, I stand by that decision.
No, what I'm saying, let me count. I guess let's go back to...
Thank you for letting me have that moment, by the way. I really needed that. That was really cathartic. I've been holding that in for years.
Winner's Heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And so now
6, 7,
I actively get angry when I'm talking about when I refer to the slog and someone goes, "There's no slog." There's always somebody. There's always some fucking person. It's like, "There's no slog." Cool for you. 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 So, I'm sure that my definition of what is abusive when your definition of what is abusive might be different, whatever. It was such a hard time for me that it's actually insulting to hear that. Because the slog for me was so much longer. And then people go, we had to wait. You didn't have to actively read it.
That's true.
You got to rip through it in a week and a half, right? And go well, that was kind of dull. And then throw it into a pile of books. And then revisit it maybe once a year when you do your reread or whatever you do. But probably not, because you go through it so fast. You don't even look at it. You barely look at it. You barely read the words because it's not a book that you actually need to look at. Right? And then... and you actually know for certain that you will eventually like the books again. I did not really actually believe that in my heart. This is healing.
Oh my God.
This is so healing. And then today, all of a sudden, I was like, I'm excited to read these books again. And it was such a nice feeling to have. It's not that I wasn't excited to podcast about the books, but I wasn't particularly oh, yay, beetle math. But nothing comes of it.
All right, now listen.
No, I did like the Beatles. But that was the Beatles would happen in page 500 of 600, and that would have been the only thing that happened all book.
My apparently flaming hot take is that I count Knife of Dreams alongside books 6 through 10 as being slower.
Here's my truth. When I do a reread of these books, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read 1 through 5, the end of 6, skip everything else until we like only hitting on like cleansing the taint. And then I'm going to hit up this book to the end.
Golden Crane?
Okay, yeah, I'll go back and read that too.
Are you going to read Roll On Head Pulping Day?
Yes, I would. I will reread. And The Seema's Death for sure, but that's the beginning of this book.
That's this book, yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. I knew I was going to fuck with this book, actually, like that chapter. But it took a second to get into.
That's the prologue.
I know. The prologue, I was like, oh, it's not just a random check-in of people leering. Something fucking happened in the prologue. That's not been true for books now. So that was like valid. A Christmas present. And then I was like, Merry Christmas to me, motherfuckers. And then it, you know, books ramp up. So I was like, okay, keep the faith. Keep the faith of what happened in the prologue. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. You got this. You got this. And I was like, what if it's back? What if it's back? What if like I'm not trying to make light of PTSD, but I actually do feel like reading Crossroads that slowly gave me a little, or no, reading Crown of Swords that slowly gave me a little PTSD as a treat.
You want to hear something fucking nuts?
What?
Of the top 5 most thrilling moments in this book, we have maybe experienced 2 of them.
We must go faster.
But that's what I was saying before, and then I got sidetracked. Winter's Heart, 15 episodes. Knife of Dreams, 22 episodes. We are currently on our 26th
because this
Gathering
book
Storm episode.
Slaps. It's so good. I want to go slower.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Without, it's like we spend an hour talking about one chapter.
Yeah.
This is great.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm so happy.
I
am so, listen to me. Do you hear the light-hearted tone my voice has taken about these books again?
Really noticed this from both of us over the past 2 months-ish.
Like, yeah, the both of us are like so happy.
It's these ones are
lighthearted.
really fun to talk about, you guys.
Here's the thing.
This book is really fun to talk about because, like, I agree that if you're just reading through them again, or if you're just zipping through them, yeah, whatever. When you sit down and talk about the chapters for an hour and a half or so at a time. And this has been
for years of our life.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not the same. And, like, we were mining for, like, content.
Because we
were like, oh, Jesus Christ, how are we going to make this chapter interesting?
We started Lord of Chaos in 2021.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long 3 years.
And we still had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. We had a great time. You were there for almost all of it.
Yeah. We still had a great fucking time. But it's
not the same as when we were like freaking the fuck out talking about the Tower coup.
Yeah.
You know, we had moments like that. But it's not the same.
It was not the same. And so I was like, oh. And so when people yell in the audience at cons, I don't want to actually punch them in the face. Like, I'm actually never more violent than that moment.
It's true.
You all need to know that.
Your head whips around.
And I just yelled, that's gaslighting. Like, I just fucking did 4 years of it in Azkaban. Like, I think I went a little insane, actually. It was like a Russian prison experiment at a couple points. I was like, no, God, please. It was great. We had a really good time. There were just a couple moments that were just really slow.
That's
to
true.
read over the course of months.
That's why I really like, I'm really happy with the way we did Crossroads, because I think that made it bearable.
Yeah. So the people were like, I hate Brandon Sanders. No, you don't. You are a liar. Art is subjective. I know. Art is subjective, and there's no such thing as a definitive. But stop. Stop it. That's stupid. That's a stupid saying. That's a stupid thing to say.
No, you're entitled to your opinion. It's fine.
You're entitled to your opinion.
It's fine. Okay. So...
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can disagree. There's room for... I didn't call you stupid. That's not true. You see, that's gaslighting, just like it is when people say that there's no slot.
Okay.
I didn't mean that you're stupid. I just get passionate about things.
You do. Matt Rand, Tom is like, yes, what a guy.
Somebody definitely got their feelings hurt. I do apologize. I'm just kidding.
Those were better days, weren't they, Matt? The three of us, traveling down the river Arenelle. Myrddraal chasing us for reasons unknown. Dark friends trying to stab us in the back every time we turned around.
Well, damn.
Better
Then I didn't have a good time with you either.
Better than Golem and Forsaken trying to kill us. That's like saying you're grateful to have a noose around your neck instead of a sword in your gut.
Oh my God, you're so negative today.
At least you can escape the noose, Matt. Once the sword is stuck into you, there's not much you can do about it. And then Matt's like, that's whatever. You know what? Let's go get ripshit drunk on ham. And,
rum ham.
like Matt goes, well, for today, why don't we forget about all that? We'll go back and pretend things are like they once were. I don't know if that's possible, lad. Sure it is. Oh? You're gonna go back to thinking that old Tom Marilyn is the wisest, most well-traveled man you've ever known? You'll play the gawking peasant again, clinging to my coat every time we pass a village with more than one inn in it. And Matt is like, I was not that much of a bumpkin.
You were.
And Matt is like, Tom is like, you absolutely the fuck were.
It's so cute. We loved it. You did your baby.
So this part's
now
really
you're a little annoying.
Cute and really sweet, and I like it a lot. And Tom goes,
you were a little annoying in then too, though.
We can't go back,
so that's
Matt.
Consistent, actually.
The wheel is turned for better or worse, and it'll keep on turning. As lights die and forests dim, storms call and skies break, turn it will. The wheel is not hope, and the wheel does not care. The wheel simply is. But so long as it turns, folk may hope. Folk may care. For with light that fades, another will eventually grow. And each storm that rages must eventually die. As long as the wheel turns, as long as it turns. And Matt is like, that's a banger. And he goes, yeah, I heard it once. Kind of, heard a few versions of that.
Oh, you big stretching.
And we cut the Arid Hall. Anything about any of the Arid Hall, all this stuff?
Oh, that he remembers like Arid Hall before it was shitty.
Kind of, yeah.
He's like, this used to be a good neighborhood. Then, and then the Fire Nation attacked.
They gab for a little while, and Matt blames marriage on being a nice person. Blames being a nice person on marriage.
Well, I mean, it does make you a better person sometimes.
It can. It also cannot change you at all.
I think, here's my thing. I think that in a really good marriage, right? I think in a bad marriage, one of you changes. I think in a good marriage, both of you change for the better. But you don't try to change each other. Do you know what I mean?
I can't do that.
You just like both kind of by osmosis become better people and better partners.
I'm not going to stop drinking
because
or gambling.
You're so happy.
Ahead, Talmanes turned around and glanced at Matt, then rolled his eyes.
And I think that's the misunderstanding that people don't really get, is it's not like he would, like there's something wrong with them that needs to change. It's like, no, they just both kind of make each other better because they're both so happy and they want to be their best selves for each other.
So Matt...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Sorry.
You're good. You're right.
I'm just bragging about our marriage again.
They go into the town, and Matt's like, we're gonna go get wasted and play dice and gamble and all this shit. And Tom is gonna go and try to get information on the Tower of Genji. Because he is locked in. He is locked in.
He is locked in
on the Tower of Genji.
He's locked in,
and
he's gonna do something stupid. And I'm gonna be annoyed.
Oliver has been doing nothing but.
I meant Oliver because Oliver's obsessed.
Oliver has been doing nothing but like trying to. You're petting the dog.
This is involuntary because I'm petting the puppies. Right. Hello, the barbers. Oh, he's got whiskers on his chin again.
Tell me about Hinderstap.
The Hindersnap? Well, I don't really know much about it. It's just a village. Okay. It's just a village that is not allowed.
When you're done petting the dog.
No, I cannot. I cannot be finished petting the dog, but I must also keep talking.
No,
so anyway, the Hindersnap, this is how I'm going to talk because I'm looking at Bobby. So the Hindersnap, anyway, so what it is, hold on. Okay, I'm going to try not looking at the dog and just petting him. It's not really working. It's not really working because he's so happy. Look at the faces. Look at the faces that he's making. He's just such a handsome young lad. I just love him. I sound like Adam Sandler.
All right, we're going to take an ad break.
Please. Please, I need to go to sleep, so I need to keep talking. But okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so...
We actually do need to take an ad break.
Fine.
We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Tell me about Hinterstep.
Okay, so here's what's going on.
Fucking dog.
You're still petting the fucking dog. All right, so here today. So, okay, so the Hinterstep, it's just a village, and they don't allow the people there after the sundowns, and that's pretty much all we know. And there's bad vibes. And then who was betting the house and the horses and all the stuff, and then all of a sudden it was sundown, and he won the whole thing, and then people started screaming.
Right. So Matt is like, this place is interesting. We'll meet up. It's kind of weird. We'll figure it out. But these people are just kind of hanging out. So whatever. And Tom flourishes his cloak and goes.
Oh, and at one point the dice roll stopped, which is always ominous.
That's always ominous. He and Talmanes are together, and Tom is fucking around and doing stuff, and the mayor comes up and goes, I'm Barlden, the mayor here. You're welcome to come and trade. Be aware that we don't have much to spare. And Talmanes goes, surely you have at least some cheese. That's what you produce, isn't it?
Cheese.
All that hasn't molded or spoiled is needed for our custom. That's just the way of things these days. But if you have cloth or clothing you'll trade, we might be able to scrape something up to feed you for the day. And Matt is like, what the fuck? We're supposed to resupply here. This is bullshit. And this sucks. You still need to hear about the curfew. Trade, warm yourselves by the hearths for a while, but know that all outsiders must be out of the town by nightfall. And Matt's like, what the fuck, bro? It's like 2 p.m. in the winter. I don't actually remember what month it is. I think it's like April. Whatever. And Jolene is like, well, as the duly appointed most annoying fucking character in this plotline for some reason, I'm going to protest this.
Jolene.
And the mayor is like,
don't take my
tough nuggets. Oh, well. Anyway,
Jolene.
I like how a minute ago you go, we have to keep recording or else I'll fall asleep.
Okay, but then I'm singing.
I like it, and I enjoy it. I just wanted to point it out.
Wow, you don't like your wife singing?
I love my wife singing.
Canceled.
It's beautiful.
No, just kidding. I just kidding.
It's stunning.
I just kidding.
Right. So,
look at his little face. Hello.
Any thoughts about anything else in here right now before I go too much farther?
No.
Okay.
It's a great job.
So they pop
I think
through.
I went on quite the rant.
They walk by the sports bar and the brewery, and then Matt finds the dive bar, and he's like, "Let's go! It's time for the dive bar." And Talmanes is like, "This place just sucks, man." And then he just he goes in and he whips it out. It being a bunch of gold.
Oh.
And he's like, "Who wants to get fucking gambled against?" And they start playing a dice game. It's called Cat's Paw, and the gist of it is, what is it? There's only one dicer in the game with a crowd of onlookers betting against or for his tosses. So this might actually be Chohan, which is a Japanese dice game where a guy rolls dice and everyone bets on either even or odd. But this is slightly different from that. So Matt throws down $500 and he's like, y'all mind if I throw the dice? And they're like, we are poor villagers and we can't match that. And he's like, whatever, I'll go against fivers. Basically, it's gold for silver. And yeah, I don't know. There's really not a lot for me to run through in this, except for the fact that it's really good. They dice against Matt for a while. Matt mostly loses. Why?
On purpose.
He mostly loses on purpose to get more people to come. Because why did they come to the town?
To resupply.
Primarily to resupply.
So he's trying to cheat them out of their stuff.
Well, is he cheating them?
Well, he kind of justifies it to himself as like, well, I'm not really cheating them because technically, like, it's like, yes, I have enhanced luck, but it's not like, I mean, they could still theoretically win. It's not like loaded dice where they have no chance. It's like they still have a chance. It's just not as good of a one as they think they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's on the line. It's a gray area.
There's another element to this that he uses to justify to himself, which is that the amount of money he loses before he brings in the chest and bets it against their supplies is roughly equivalent to the value of all the supplies that he gets.
Oh, there you go. It's fine.
So he's like, I'm really getting fair market value for all this.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
giving, I should
fine.
say.
It's fine.
Meanwhile, he starts gambling, and Talmanes is like, this is not chill, actually. This is not so good.
Everyone's kind of weird.
I don't like this, Matt. I told you, I know what I'm doing. Not that. You can waste your coin if you want, so long as you spare a few coins to buy me a drink now and then. That's not what's bothering me. Not anymore. Something feels wrong about these folk, Matt. While you've been playing, I've been talking to them. They don't care about the worlds, the Dragon Reborn, the Shan-Chan, nothing. Not a care. So, they're simple folk. Simple folk should worry even more. They're trapped here between gathering armies, but these just shrug when I talk, then drink some more. It's as if they're too focused on their revelry. As if it's all that matters to them. Tell me more about the villagers.
The villagers?
Yeah.
They're weird.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything that's happening. I mean, that's kind of all there is to say about them.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't care about what's happening, and they're just kind of odd.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of information about them right off the bat, except that they seem
which is why I feel like if I had a little more info, I would probably be able to tell which one of my scenarios was kind of right. Whether it's monster lotus eaters or...
Let me look at when we initially start seeing
They
people.
just like killing people at nighttime.
Men crowded
like
around
weird
tables,
vampires.
their cloaks draped over chairs or hung on pegs, their ripped and re-sewn vests unbuttoned, their sleeves rolled up. Why did people here wear clothing that was once so nice, yet now so torn and patched?
Okay,
They had
that's
plenty
weird.
of sheep.
Oh, are they all dead?
Is there anything else I can get?
Are they all dead?
When he bets,
What's
the
up
guy
with
just
that?
goes, I
Are
don't
they
know
all
if we
dead?
can match that.
But they're not ghosts.
Talmanes does bring up ghosts later.
I know, so it's not that. Zombies. They're all zombies.
And Talmanes is like, we should leave. This is weird, and we should leave. And then the mayor comes in and with his axe brigade, and Matt is like, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And he continues losing huge amounts of money. And then he goes, I see it's getting late. And the mayor goes, too late. You should be going, Outlander. Don't be thinking I'll be take these men, Don't be thinking I'll make these men give back what you lost to them fairly either. I wouldn't dream of it. Harnan and Delarn, bring in the chest. And they bring in a fucking treasure chest full of gold. And Matt is like, Matt's like, what's up, everybody? A final round? And what do they bet against it? What does Matt request?
Chest versus like a bunch of cheese and stuff.
Yeah, I came here for supplies. Guess I take barter. You can keep the coins you won, but I'll bet this chest for supplies. Foodstuffs for my men, a few casks of ale, cart to carry it on. There isn't enough time. Surely there is. I'll leave after this toss. You have my word on it. We don't bend rules here. The price is too high. And then everybody is silent, and Matt's like, oh, did I fuck up? And then people start trickling in bets here and there and add in a little bit of food, and the mayor is like, you motherfucker, you're cheating, aren't you? And Matt is like, no. And what is the mayor's counter-cheating initiative?
He's got to use his own dice. He's got to use the mayor's dice. What?
And?
I don't remember.
He says, you'll use dice that I give you, and then he goes, nah, fuck that, and he picks up the dice that Matt was using, rolls 4 losses in a row, and goes, we'll use these, and I'll throw them.
All right.
So you don't even get to roll the dice. And Matt is like, oh, shit. Does that matter? Probably not. But I do appreciate that they've managed to make us a little bit suspicious of Matt's luck.
Yeah.
This is a great use of this device.
Brandon Sanderson's good at devices.
If I will say one thing, and I have said many things here and there in favor of the man's writing, if I will say one thing in particular that I love about Brandon Sanderson's writing, he really likes to take a system and fuck with it. That he is a very scientific writer in that way, which I think is one of the things people often don't like about his writing in respect to how it compares to Robert Jordan's, because Robert Jordan's a little bit more like, eh. But like,
I think it's cool.
I love it. I think it's fun.
I think it's really cool. I like it. People hate fun. No, I'm just kidding. You can have your opinions. But I don't gotta like them.
So yeah, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna go down. Like I said, you'll use my dice on this throw.
I don't gotta agree.
He hesitated, then smiled, grabbing a pair of dice off the table that Matt had been using. He tossed them. They came up a 1 and a 2. He tossed them again, got the same result. Better yet, you'll use these. In fact, I'll make the throw for you. And Matt's like, uh-oh. What I play?
Ghosts. Go.
All right.
Go.
And Matt says, fine, that's fine. Okay, cool, that's fine. So then they go outside, and people keep bringing food, and the sun is getting lower and lower on the horizon, and more people bringing food, and the mayor is like, we need to fucking roll the fucking dice as soon as the fucking sun's setting. And Matt looks at the poor people throwing food on his wagon again, and he thinks, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've got to feed my men, don't I? These men are betting fair, and I'm betting fair. No loaded dice. No nothing. And then, still, as the men came back into the inn, he started to see that what it was that Talmanes had noticed. There was an edge of desperation to these men. Had they been too eager to gamble? Had they been foolhardy with their betting? What was that look in their eyes? A look that Matt had mistaken for weariness. Had they been drinking to celebrate the end of the day, or had they been drinking to banish that haunted cast in their eyes? And Matt's like, maybe we should leave. And Talmanes goes, we should leave. And Matt goes, no, we're staying. And the dice stopped rattling in his head. So they throw all the food on the wagon, and then Talmanes is like, ghosts? And Matt goes, probably not ghosts. That food wasn't worth the gold in the coffer, of course, but it was about equal to what he'd lost dicing inside, particularly with the wagon and horses thrown in. And again, Matt being Matt, he acknowledges how well the horses have been bred and how healthy they are. Because he's Matt, and that's what Matt does when he sees a horse.
There you go. That's him to a T.
And then the guys are talking to Matt, and one of them's holding a piece of paper, and he's like flapping the paper at Matt, and then the mayor sends them away. And what's up with that? The answer is you don't know, because they don't explain it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think might be up with that?
Wait, okay, so what does he do?
Matt opened his mouth to say it was enough, then hesitated as he noticed that the mayor was talking quietly with a group of men. There were 6 of them, their vests drab and ragged, their black hair unkempt. One was gesturing towards Matt and holding what looked to be a sheet of paper in his hand. Barldon shook his head, but the man with the paper gestured more insistently. Now, Matt said softly. What's this? Matt, the sun, Talmanes said. The mayor pointed
Vampires?
sharply,
Is it
and the
vampires?
ragged men sidled away. The men who had brought the food were crowding around the dimming street, keeping to the center of it. Most were looking toward the horizon.
It's vampires.
And then Matt, the mayor, throws the dice.
It's vampires.
And everyone gets deeply, deeply stressed out. The dice came to a stop. A pair of 4s, an outright winning throw. Matt released a long, relieved breath, though he felt a trickle of sweat down his temple. Matt. Go, the burly man said, gesturing in disgust toward Matt and turning away. Take your spoils and leave this place. Never return. Well, Matt said, relaxing. Thank you kindly for the game. Then we go, the mayor bellowed.
Vampires.
And then everybody leaves and goes inside immediately.
Vampires.
It suddenly seemed eerily quiet. There wasn't a villager on the street.
Vampires.
Shouldn't there be some noise from inside the tavern, at least? Some clinking of mugs? Some grumbling about the lost wager? Well, Matt said, voice echoing against silent house fronts. I guess that's that. He walked over to Pips, calming the horse, who had begun to shuffle nervously.
Vampires.
Now, see, I told you, Talmanes. Nothing to be worried about at all. And that's when the screaming began.
Ironic.
Do you want me to read the first paragraph
Yes.
of the next book to you?
Please.
Burn you, Matt! Talmanes said, yanking his sword free from the gut of a twitching villager. Talmanes almost never swore. Burn you twice over and once again!
Wait, so it all happens off screen?
No.
Oh. Okay, good. Oh, so the villagers are attacking now.
Me? Matt snapped, spinning, his Ashandarai flashing as he neatly hamstrung 2 men in bright green vests. They fell to the packed earthen street, eyes wide with rage as they sputtered and growled. Me? I'm not the one trying to kill you, Talmanes! Blame them! Talmanes managed to pull himself into his saddle. They told us to leave! Yes, Matt said, grabbing Pip's reins and pulling the horse away from the tipsy gelding. And now they're trying to kill us. I can't rightly be blamed for their unsociable behavior. Howls, screams, and yells rose from all across the village. Some were angry, some were terrified, others were agonized. More and more men piled out of the tavern, each one grunting and yelling, each one trying his best to kill every person around him.
It's like rage zombies.
Some of them came for Matt, Talmanes, or Matt's red arms, but many just attacked their companions, hands ripping at skin, nails tearing gouges in faces. They fought with a primal lack of skill, and only a few thought to pick up rocks, mugs, or lengths of wood.
All the villagers are killing each other?
This was far more than a simple bar fight. These men were trying to kill each other. Already there were a half dozen corpses or near corpses in the street. And from what Matt could see at the inside of the inn, the fighting was equally brutal inside.
Shit.
So you have that to look forward to on the next episode of Wheel Take.
Okay, thank you so much.
Allie, any thoughts on all that shit we read? I know I just kind of gave away what happens
I think I just gave an hour and 8 minutes worth of thought.
You did. Thanks for listening, everyone. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. It's linked down below. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes, and you can always leave us a rating and a review if you want. That helps a lot. Other than that, anything else, Allie?
Mr. Peters, and I love him so much. Mr. Peters. Hello, Mr. Peters. You want to go to sleep, Mr. Peters? I would like to go to sleep, Mr. Peters. Oh my God, I woke him a little bit. I'm so sorry.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
So sorry, Mr.
Bye.
Peters. Bye.